근데 이거 올려준다고 하겠습니다.
Last class we finished off by discussing how is international marketing different to domestic marketing. So we explained that mainly we're talking about the foreign environment. So we have different stages in international marketing. No direct international marketing, infrequent international marketing, regular international marketing, and global marketing at the end. So let's look at each of these types. So in the first one, it's reactive. Do you understand react? Different to proactive, I go and do. Reactive means something happens and I react. I come back against that. So here they're not trying to do international marketing. They're just reacting to some demand from the international market. So we use the word indirectly here. They don't mean to sell internationally. So they just sell in their home country, but maybe some trading company will buy their product and sell it in another market. Some international customers contact the company. They saw their product, so they want the product. Internet orders these days. Somebody could be making something just locally, but somebody from abroad can order from their internet if they have an internet site. The next one is infrequent international marketing. This is a little bit more than the first one. So sometimes we have surplus goods. Surplus means too much or too many. So if we have too many goods, then we need to sell them somewhere. So we decide to sell them abroad, only because we have too many goods. But when it comes back to the normal situation, we stop selling our product internationally again. So we don't want to do international marketing. We're just doing it because we have a surplus at some point in time. The next stage, we're moving into proactive. So proactive means, yes, we do want to do international marketing. So we make some factory which is specifically for the international market, or some office, some job title of somebody specifically tasked with selling things abroad. So we can make our own sales force. We have our own, hire somebody as international marketing staff, right, or international sales staff. We can also employ some intermediary abroad. Intermediary means just in the middle. In English, you have advanced, intermediate, beginner, right? So intermediate just means in the middle. So, for example, we can contact some company, import or export company in another country, and they can help us to sell our product there. But the main point here is we want to sell our product abroad. So, next step is regular international marketing. So we adapt our products for the international market. So, for example, if I'm selling a car I sell in Korea is not the same as the car I sell in Europe. For example, in Europe they have different health and safety standards. So I have to change the product and make a new product especially for the international market. And I start depending on the profits from international markets. So it's an important part of my business. So, international marketing. So, again, we're fully committed and involved in the international market. We often start a factory or set up an office or a subsidiary of our own company in another country. So, when we talk about an M&E, it means that we have to have something in the other country, right? We need a factory. M&E is from country A. We need to have a factory, an office, something here, right? In another country. So this is more international marketing. We're doing something in the other country. For example, Feathers here is a US company which makes air conditioners. They had some problem in the US because their air conditioner unit was not doing very well. Wasn't selling very well. So they decided we're going to focus more on the Chinese market. Instead of focusing on the US, we're going to focus on China. So the US company, they set up the factories in China. They start manufacturing the air conditioners for China. In the US, they prefer bigger air conditioner units. But China, they have smaller apartments. So they have smaller air conditioner units. So they focused more on this type of smaller air conditioner unit for China. So this is an example there. International marketing is very important for Feathers. China is an important market. They have factories in China. Okay, they have staff in China. This is the next stage. And then finally we have global marketing. So global marketing is, we explained the difference between global and international. Right? Global is all over the world. Feathers, they might be focusing, US focusing on China. They might not be a global company, just the international one. But global marketing means we take a global view for our company and our marketing. So in the marketing mix, the people who study marketing said they already know the product, price, placement and promotion. These are called the 4 Ps. So these 4 Ps we're looking at not the national or international, but global, in a global way. So instead of segmenting the market just by country, we're now segmenting the market by income levels, or so on. So a good example for this is a yacht. Do you understand yacht? Do you have a yacht?
No.
No, not yet? Maybe in 10 years? Okay. So what kind of people can afford to buy a yacht?
Rich.
Right, very high income level, right? So maybe they earn more than $80,000 a year, for example, income. So it means that if I'm a yacht company, maybe I'm not looking at making one marketing strategy for England, and one marketing strategy for Germany, and one marketing strategy for Korea. Instead, I'm going to make a marketing strategy for people whose income is over 80,000. Okay? That is more important for me than the nationality of the person. So you can see some luxury products like Rolex watches, that kind of thing. They would not be focusing much on the national difference, or they're segmenting the market by income, or usage patterns, or other ways, and look at the market as a global way. So let's look at some more definitions. For marketing, we need to look at some definitions. So the first one is feature. We have a product. The product has features and benefits. So features, we're talking about how the product looks physically. The chair is black and it's 1 meter high. Benefits is, what does the product help us with? So what can the chair help us with? It helps us to sit comfortably, right? While we're watching the class. So what are the features and benefits of an iPhone? Can anybody tell me? What are the features of an iPhone?
Very slim
Silver, slim,
and smart.
Hand inside.
hand size. What are the benefits of an iPhone?
Smart. Smart.
What do you mean?
Smart than garage.
Well, what benefit is that for the consumer? So smart we use for people, we don't use really for product. So can you find another word? Maybe the technology is better?
Yes.
Technology is better would be feature, right? But what benefit do we get? The technology is better, what benefit do we get because it has better technology?
You can access World Wide Web anywhere.
Okay, for example, you can access the World Wide Web anywhere, right? That's a benefit. Okay. Any other benefit of using an iPhone?
Well, it's fast, it cooperates with Macs, it cooperates with other products.
Okay, it's compatible with many products.
If some developers make some new apps, they're mostly first made for iPhones, for iOS.
Okay. So, those kind of things, right? So we can make phone calls, that's a benefit. Okay. So, standardized and customized. So standardized means that, standard means normal, okay, or similar, very similar. So more or less similar features and benefits of a product or service. So a standardized product is one which is the same in every country. Can you think of any product which is similar in every country?
Sure.
TV, maybe LG makes some widescreen TV, they sell the same, or cameras, right? So standardized means just it has the same features and benefits everywhere, right? Customized is like the opposite of standardized. It's made or adapted specifically for one person, for one group, or for a country. Have you heard of customized furniture? Customized furniture, you tell them, I have this kind of corner in my house, right? So I need a special desk that fits into this corner. So you tell them it should be 1 meter tall and 50 meters wide. Okay, and my wallpaper is white, so I want a white desk. So that's customized. The desk is made especially for you. If you go to IKEA, do you buy customized or standardized furniture? Standardized, right? IKEA can sell the same desk in Germany or in Korea, right? They have standard desks. That's not customized. So, have you heard of economies of scale before?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Like basically means we sell more, we get more.
Okay. So it's to do with fixed cost, right? Do you understand fixed cost?
Yes.
Fixed cost is I already paid and I can't change. For example, I paid for the land. Okay. I paid for the factory. I built a factory. Labor costs, I can change. I can hire more people or fire less people. That's not a fixed cost, a variable cost. Or electricity could be variable cost. I use more electricity. But fixed cost, we already paid for the fixed costs. So now, as you say, the more products we produce, the more we sell, the less our percentage of fixed cost will be, okay, on each product. So what do you think, standardized or customized? Which one makes use of economies of scale? Which does IKEA get advantage from? Standardized, right? So IKEA makes the one factory for making the same type of product, then it can get economies of scale in that case by selling a lot of the same one. So we have goods which are made of products and services. We'll often see in this course product and service. So product and service, product, something which a company makes, which I can touch or see, right? Service, something which we usually can't touch or see. So product, pencil. Service, a night stay in a hotel. Can you see a night stay in the hotel? Can you touch it? No, right? So it's just general difference. So let's discuss with our partner. What kinds of standardized products or services do you think can be sold all over the world? They don't need to be adapted or customized for one country. Could be sold anywhere. Can you give some examples? So if you're not sitting next to somebody, then sit next to somebody because we need to do some discussion in this class, right? So just when you come to the class at the start, it's better to sit next to another student. Then you can ask and answer these questions. So you two guys can discuss together.
첫 번째 저런 형태의 무서운 뭐가 있나요?
두 번째는
Hey, remember to also answer the second part of the question, right? What features or benefits do they have? Okay, so then let's ask these two guys here. What do you think? Clothes. What kind of features and benefits?
2 meters high.
Mm.
Wooden.
So a closed chest for putting clothes in,
Yeah.
wooden and 2 meters high. The benefit is storing your clothes.
Yeah.
You think it doesn't need to be. People in most countries have the same
Yeah.
need. Okay, what about you guys? What did you say?
First question to answer is TV or just electronics.
Hmm?
And the second answer is standardization. It depends on which product it is.
Okay, so you think TVs are electronic products? Okay, what kind of benefits do you get from those products?
Benefit, I can see more clearly, more than other just never TV, because these days there are smart TV, so I can wear on the glasses.
Hmm?
And it makes me watch the TV more clearly.
Okay. Okay, so we can all think of some examples of products which work well. We can get economies of scale advantage by standardizing these products and selling the similar product with the similar features and benefits all over the world, right? So let's continue to discuss about the globalization. So what technologies have helped to share similar ideas? Do you think people have similar ideas in different countries? And do you think that generally consumers' tastes are becoming more similar or more different? So discuss with your partner. Do you understand the question?
맥주나 같은 데는 인도 같은 데는 고기를 따로 쓰는 고기가
We get it like that.
Let's ask this group here at the first question. What technologies are helping to share similar ideas? You're from Russia and you're from Korea. Do you have some similar ideas and tastes?
I
Think not really. But what technology is helping anyway? Smartphones. People have access to the internet. Hmm? So more computers, laptops, smartphones.
Yeah, because everybody in the internet, so computer is out
So people have social media, they talk to each other on the internet, right? We have Twitter, Facebook, those kind of things.
Also, international phone call.
Skype is free phone call
Yes.
to other people in other countries.
Yes.
Okay, then what about you guys here? Do you think consumers' tastes are becoming more similar or more different? You're from Russia and they're from Korea. Do you think generally your taste of consumer taste means what do you want to buy? What kind of things do you like to buy? Do you think you own some of the same things that they own?
I think yes. I think it depends on the country, because different countries have different level of life, maybe. But I think Russian and Korean people have similar tastes, maybe.
Okay. Do you think it's getting more similar or getting more different?
I think our usually is more similar.
Getting more similar?
Yeah, because if technology Russian people prefer to buy modern, for example, iPhone 6 more.
Yes.
Russian people to buy this iPhone, also and Korean people buy also this iPhone.
Okay.
Yeah, and about Samsung 6, similar situation.
Okay.
The same thing and same thing.
Okay, so you buy the same kind of phone or technology product. What about things like music? What kind of music do you guys like?
For example, Korean music people listen to K-pop.
People are now listening to K-pop.
Yeah, Korean part in Russia is not popular.
Mm.
Russian people listen
Rock music,
American music.
American music. Do you guys listen to American music?
Yes.
Yes.
What about you guys? What music in Denmark or in China or Turkey?
Danish.
Only Danish music. What is Danish music like?
Nice.
Who is the most famous Danish star? I'm a Barbie girl from a Barbie world. Is that the Danish
Could be.
group?
Or Sunshine Reggae. Could be.
Turkey?
Generally, Turkish.
Generally Turkish music in China? Like K-pop? China? Okay. So let's have a show of hands. Who thinks that the consumers' tastes are becoming more similar? Put up your hand. Who thinks consumers' tastes are becoming more different? Put up your hand. Okay, so it's about the same, right? It's, people think it's becoming similar or different. So let's have a little look at the history of international marketing. So this was the Silk Road, which linked Asia to Europe, which was very important for the international trade at the start, but going by sea, or of course by road. And when this road and route was developed, the international trade was able to increase greatly. Since World War II, we have seen a lot of increase in the international trade. The World Trade Organization has been growing, more countries are joining, right? All the time. So we also have some bilateral agreements between countries and more free trade agreements. NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. So a free trade agreement is simple, right? It means that you can trade without paying any tax or tariff, right? So if you make something in Mexico and you sell it in the US, do you have to pay any tariff in the US? No, right? So some Korean companies make a factory in Mexico and then they can sell in the US, right? In Europe it's the same. If I make something in Poland, I can sell it in Germany or England without paying any tariff. So you can see that it's making it easier for the international trade. Korea and US, Korea has made many FTAs with Europe, with US, with Peru, different countries recently. So that all means that international business has grown. So beforehand, for example, you had something blocking US, say for example if we took lawyers from the US, it was hard for them to open an office in Korea, right? Or it was harder for the US companies to compete in Korea. But with the FTA, the US companies can come and compete more in Korea. Also the Korean companies can go and compete more in the US. So in the future, speaking English will be more useful because of the Korea-US FTA or Korea-Europe FTA. Should increase the international business more. So the free market system has conquered. So we had Karl Marx, who had an idea about socialism, right? And also in China we had the Chairman Mao, who had an idea about closed markets, self-sufficiency. Just we can produce in our own country for our own people, okay? And the state will take care of everything. So that system didn't work very well. I think the main problem was that Karl Marx had an idea that people's nature or personality would change after they lived in the kind of socialist system or market system, but he didn't live long enough to see that people's personality or human nature doesn't change even though you make that kind of system. So you're still going to have an oligarchy of people who are controlling from the top, right? And lower people. So this system also didn't allow for enough reward for people doing some innovation or working very hard. So this Marx system didn't work very well. So we had the free market system conquered this system. So nowadays, China, even though they still have a communist party, right, politically, but economically, they're using a free market system, which is opening up to trade with other countries. India, the former Soviet Union, right, now Russia is the main country. So this means 3 billion new consumers that didn't exist before. Mainly in the 80s and 90s, we saw these consumers enter the market. So before we couldn't, China was a little bit like North Korea. You couldn't sell anything to them really, right? It was quite blocked off market. But nowadays you can sell to China, you can sell to India, right? So we have a lot of new customers, 3 billion in fact. And their income is coming up all the time. So this is important new market. These are so-called emerging markets or BRIC nations. Is constantly going up. If you look at the graph, we will have like US, EU, and then we can have BRIC, and then constantly this is they're buying more products, right? Not that these guys are buying less, just proportionally, relatively. This should add to 100, right? Always adds to 100. So it's this kind of market is growing. And we have also the internet, growing impact of the internet and the TV to have the international business. So in 1983, Theodore Levitt wrote a famous paper which was very important for at least a decade. He said that companies should grow by selling standardized products all over the world. So at this time, this was the main idea. So what we discussed earlier, you had economies of scale by making a standardized product. For example, you're making car tires, like Kumho, right? Then you make don't sell different tires in different countries, just sell one tire all over the world, right? And the best thing about that is you can save a lot of money because you don't have to have a different marketing team for every country, you don't have to have different engineers in every country, you don't have to have a different factory with different equipment, right? Just use the same equipment, the same teams, we can save money. So he said, gone are custom differences in national and regional preferences. So he thought because of the TV and the radio and the travel and so on, at that time he thought that differences in national and regional preferences will always be getting less. So he thought the future for business is standardizing products. So this, many CEOs were very enthusiastic about this idea, but it only lasted for a decade because they found out that consumers had troubles with this standardization, right? Consumers didn't want the same thing. So they realized that actually just making a global product or standardized product might not work so well after all. If we give one example just for Kumho tires, do you think that Kumho could sell the same tire in Saudi Arabia and Iceland?
No,
No? Why not?
because it's different environment there.
Yes. So
Iceland is snow and nature is very wild, and in Arabia it's either roads or deserts.
right? So even if you look at the geography, you need a tire that works in the winter in Iceland, right? In Saudi Arabia, you don't need that kind of tire. So we can't go too far on standardization, right? Only to a point we're going to get the advantage. So then we have to make a decision about our strategy. So depending on the product and the market, we might have a global market strategy for one product with standardization, or we could have a local strategy with customization for another product. So do you know Procter Gamble? One of the world's biggest companies. So depends on their product. Diapers. Disposable diapers for babies. It's a simple product, right? The baby wears the disposable diaper. And P&G thought maybe babies are not that different in different countries, right? They all go to the toilet, so they all need diapers. So they decide to make a global product. However, detergents, they made a local product. Do you understand detergent for washing clothes? So for example, even the smell. People in China prefer a different smell from their clothes. Maybe they like the smell of spring, right? Just for example. Maybe people in the US like a smell of lavender, so flowers, different type of flower from their clothes. Some people prefer their clothes to be softer. Some people don't need soft clothes, right? So Procter Gamble decided that we're going to make a customized detergent, different detergent for every country. Because we did the research, and in every country, we can't make a standardized one for every country, because the local competition is going to win. Local competition sells detergent with lavender smell. People like lavender smell, then they're going to buy that one. They're not going to buy our one. So we need to make a local strategy for detergents. So we have to decide. The general decision is between should we make a global strategy or should we make a local strategy. But of course there's one in the middle. Hybrid. Do you understand a hybrid car? Hybrid is mixing two things together. Hybrid car is gas and electricity or battery. Okay? This is a hybrid strategy. We're combining global and local together. So that's called global. So I'm not sure if you can see this well, but this is an advertising campaign from Absolute Vodka, which shows this kind of strategy. So what they did is they made a global plan for their marketing. Their plan was, we're going to show the bottle of vodka in some national important landmark. Like Rome, this scooter. A lot of people use the scooter in Italy. So this is an important national thing in Italy. So it looks like the bottle of vodka, right? And then we have in Moscow. What's this?
Red square.
Red square, right? So some part of the red square made it look like the bottle of vodka in Russia. So the idea is the same, right? The global idea is the same. Marketing idea is the same. We're showing the bottle of vodka in that country's specific situation, right? But it's also adapted for the local area. In Rome we have a motto. In Russia we have the red square. Okay? This is just an example of the global idea. Mixing a global and a local strategy together. So some part of the strategy can be global, the overall idea, right? And some part of the strategy can be local, which is adapting some part to be local. So this is more of local, this is called the global, mixing global and local together. So, let's take a break now for 10 minutes, and then we can watch a video about local after the break.